8:30, everybody. So gadgets, video games. Some of us live for getting our hands on the latest tech, right? But that could all be changing thanks to the dreaded T word. We're talking tariffs.
Yes, so joining us now is Yahoo Finance's technology editor, Daniel Howley, to tell us what's safe, what's not, and what you might want to buy right now. So, Dan, good morning. Thanks for being here. Before we get to the tariff talk, what are some of the cool things that are coming out in tech?
Yeah, there's a few things that honestly have me excited. The first thing is a little nerdy. Nintendo's coming out with its second console, the Nintendo Switch. I already have my pre-order. That's coming out next month, June 5th, so I will not be in work, and don't tell my bosses that. There's also some new VR headsets coming from Google and Samsung. They're working on a joint thing called Android XR. It's basically the operating system, and it'll have a Samsung headset. And then obviously, come September, new iPhone. Supposedly this time around it's going to be extra thin, so it should be pretty cool. That should goose sales a little bit for
got
Apple.
the new iPhone. I mean,
I'm going to have to hold off and getting my new iPhone.
Come on.
I mean,
so here's the thing: with all this stuff coming out, right? And people, people want to pre-order that Nintendo. What's exempt from tariffs?
Yeah, there are a few things surprisingly right now, right? And it really depends on where the products are coming from. So, for instance, let's talk about Apple and the iPhones. Right now, iPhones, laptops, smartphones generally, computers, tablets, things like that, those are exempt from tariffs at this point. So,
regardless of where they come from.
Regardless of where they come from, the Chinese tariffs in particular, the 125%, they're exempt from the reciprocal tariffs, still hit by the 20% fentanyl-related tariffs. So those are still in effect. So there's those products, and then you know, obviously, if you're thinking about shopping sometime soon, you don't necessarily have to rush out. There were some people who were wondering, should I get out there? Should I do it now? It seems as though you're okay for the moment.
Okay. But come September, we might be in trouble.
Yeah.
Right, what items are non-exempt then?
So non-exempt, talked about that Nintendo Switch, not exempt at all.
Ouch.
Yeah. So video games, things like that. It's kind of when you go through the tariff schedule, which I've tried several times.
Yeah.
It's incredibly complicated. There's, you talk about different games, things like that, whether or not they're coin-operated games, which, I mean, those are something that's on the tariff schedule, or the home console. So those are something that's not going to be exempt. We've already seen price increases. Microsoft raised the price of their Xbox console $100. So
wow,
if you have a 5-year-old console, it came out in 2020, you have a 5-year-old console, you're staring at it, you're like, oh, it's, look at that. You're like, $100, worth $100 more now, I guess.
Yeah.
They also raised the prices of some games to $80, and you're going to see the same thing at Nintendo as well.
Yeah, I mean, as iPhone, they were talking about even raising the price of their phone, but they're exempt.
They're exempt,
right,
so they're good for now. You don't have to worry about that.
I don't want to get too technical, but a lot of these things are made with semiconductors, right? When you talk about electronics, and semiconductors are going to be, because you're talking about the parts. It's almost like a car. We talk about cars that are made in the U.S. and how some of the parts come from abroad. Talk about the semiconductors and what it means.
Yeah, right now there's a investigation going on. It's a Section 232 investigation. Basically, what the government is trying to determine is it's a national security investigation. Long and short of it is that there could be tariffs coming on semiconductors, and there could be tariffs then coming back into play on some of those devices that are exempt now. And so that's the kind of fear that is going on. If you listen to Apple's most recent earnings call, Tim Cook, the CEO, had specifically called out these Section 232 investigations and what that might mean for iPhone sales, iPad sales, things along those lines. So it's something to keep in mind. The other thing to keep in mind is semiconductors aren't just in our tablets and our phones. They're literally in every device that we use. Your fridge probably got semiconductors in it. Yeah. Your dryer, if it's a smart dryer, your wash machine, everything now has a semiconductor. So when you talk about tariffs on semiconductors, you're talking about tariffs on more or less everything we use in modern society.
Wow, really fascinating. Thanks so much for coming in and laying that all out for us. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Have fun with your Nintendo Switch.
Oh my God, yes.